Okay, good afternoon. Oop. Test. Test. There we go. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the Personal and Finance Committee meeting to order. It is now 4:01 p.m. And I believe that Clerk Torado is going to make some comments before we start the meeting, and then we'll take a roll call.
Good afternoon, members of the public. For audio quality, we will be muting everyone not speaking by default to maintain good audio quality for council members and yourselves. If you would like to speak during the meeting, during the public portion, please submit your request in the chat. Directions have been listed. We ask that you provide your full name and address, as those are required for all speakers at in-person council meetings. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Would you mind taking the roll call, please?
Absolutely. Committee member Thomas Morgan,
Present.
committee member Dr. Davis,
Present.
committee vice chair White, committee chair Niskoski,
Present.
all present.
Thank you. So we do have a quorum. So tonight is October 13th. After a long budget meeting process, we are finally here to this day to be able to vote through the salary ordinances and the budget ordinance. So the first one we're going to hear from is Transpo, that is Bill 5725. So if you want to come up, Chris, and I think we've seen your presentation a few times, so it's however you want to sum it up for us.
Okay, Chris Kubizak, offices at 1401 South Lafayette, South Bend, Indiana. I'll just hit to the meat and potatoes of the budget. We ended up with a balanced budget this year for 26 at $12,476,365. 41% of our budget makes up from local income tax, property tax, license and excise. Federal operating assistance makes up 18% of our budget, and that's from the federal government, and that's regulated on a dollar amount per year we can take out as a max. And we're pretty much at that max going forward into the 27-28 budget cycles. 10% is federal maintenance, and only 12% makes up our budget is from passenger fares. Again, from an expense standpoint, we're at 12,476,365. Of that amount, 56% of that makes up wages, 21% of that makes up benefits, utilities, services, materials, and supplies. When you add those together, that's about 90% of our budget. So when you look at our budget, you're trying to look at ways of looking at reducing expenses, 9% relates to service that we provide out on the streets. So our major increase between that and our major increase in our budget between 25 and 26 is due to insurance premiums continue to increase. Utilities have gone up a little bit, but not as much, about 5%. Services, maintenance of the buses. On the maintenance of the buses, you're looking at, the CNG tanks have their own inspection done twice a year, and also the fire alarm system on the vehicle requires routine maintenance on that. And one of our biggest expenses that we've seen an increase in is our workers' comp over the last couple of years. Labor expense, we've noticed that the first 2 years of our chart, 22, 23, and 24, those are audited figures. 25 and 26 are what we had planned for budgeted. We budgeted 6.8 this year. I looked at it today. We're probably going to run in between the 6 million and 6.4 million in labor expense for the year. So we should finish under budget this year. Going into 26, the big item we have going into determined labor expense will be our collective bargaining agreement for our fixed route drivers and our maintenance staff. So that'll be happening next. We should hopefully be resolved by this time next year to know how the labor expense will affect our budget going into 27 and 28. Going into our major challenges, again, I think everyone has this, the SB1 property tax cuts. We were able to, in 26, balance the budget with rearranging some of the revenues and cutting down on some of the expenses. In 27 and 28 will be more of our challenges to figure out what we're going to do to make up that budget deficit. We're internally looking at all of our expenses first to make sure that we're lean, and we're not wasting funds first before we move to our next step, which is we're looking at our fixed route service. With a new omnibus system we have to help us schedule. We're looking at seeing how we can rearrange the schedules to make it more efficient from a time-wise perspective for our drivers. Hopefully reduce overtime, and paying for guaranteed time. And in September, we had Echo Lane, who does our access scheduling, come out, and they did a review of our access program. So based on the recommendations, we're going to be implementing changes that they have to help us reduce expenses on that end. Just making us more efficient in our scheduling and everything else. One of our big challenges is we have 16 buses available for replacement in 26, 6 more through 2028. With this property tax cut, it kind of reduces us having local share. It's going to make us difficult to apply for capital grants, because one of the things you have to do on capital grants is provide documentation saying you have the local match when you apply for them. So if we're applying for a $600,000 bus, I have to have about $120,000 worth of local match in the bank before they will allow us to have the grant. Again, opportunities, looking at doing outreach across the region. But our big item is we need employment out. We have a lot of open positions as drivers, mechanics, and service line, and some administrative positions. And that's kind of I know it's not a little longer than probably what was needed to be said since I gave the presentation, but I kind of wanted to just give a higher degree of update on that.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm looking at the ordinance. Well, first, Mr. Willis, do you have anything to add to that? To his presentation? I guess the question I have, he's saying his budget is for $12,476,365. But in section 1 of the ordinance filed, it's saying $13,532,365. So I'm not sure. I just want to make sure we're looking
Yeah,
at.
the ordinance is the actual budget, if expenses is the 12, but when you add in the local share for the capital program,
Okay.
it bumps it up to 13 million as the ordinance.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because there were 2 different numbers. I just want to be clear on everything. Okay. Well, thank you so much for the presentation and going over this again.
Just for the question.
And I'll bring back to the committee, Dr. Davis.
For issues regarding the government shutdown, is that having any impact for you in terms of federal issues, federal things are delaying any products that you were expecting or could have?
Actually, not at this time, because the FTA the United States government shuts down September 30th is their end of fiscal year.
Mm-hmm.
So the FTA shuts down, us allowing to apply for funds a week before that. And they usually close down us drawing down funds till the middle or the end of the month. And that's where they can go through and reconcile all the grants and all the money they spent on their part. So currently, no, it has not affected us from receiving any funds at this time. Now, if the federal government does not open, I think they told us the 17th or 18th to do draws downs for us to get money. Eventually it will affect us, but not at this current time. I think if we were looking at when it really would start affect us would be probably around November 1st.
Okay.
Around that time frame where we would be, we did receive our state funding, our last state funding of a little over 500,000. So what we would end up doing is we would basically hold back on expenses, and we would just make sure we paid all of our employees first. And then if it came down to a little late on our other expenses, but I think we should be good with making our expenses till at least November 1st, if not longer.
Okay. I was just, trying to figure out that. I knew that had some impact, but I couldn't figure out which one. I'm a little rusty on transfer, but I did know that.
Yeah, currently it's great. I mean, it's not great, but it's great that we don't have any large
you.
expenses coming in, like expenses going out at this time, like buses or any major renovations where we would need to draw down on those funds from them.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're
Okay, I'm going to ask our committee members first. Is there any other questions? Okay, well, we're going to go to the committee member first. And you're on the committee, so go ahead and ask your question.
I just want to clarify this. There's been some discussions in regards to our college students as if they're riding free.
Yes.
But aren't the university subsidizing some of that cost?
Yeah, so we currently Notre Dame pays for all their
Okay.
Notre Dame, St. Mary's, Holy Cross, IU, I think, pay for their students to ride for free. We bill them once a year and that's either June or July. South Bend Schools does the same billing period. And so does the school city of Mishawaka when we do the trip or when they sponsor that, it allows their students to ride since they're sponsoring a trip for free.
I appreciate it. I just want to clarify that because you begin to hear things and when you say, no, that's not correct, they look at you like, what do you know? So that's
Yeah.
why I wanted to, ask that question publicly so it'll be in our records. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Well,
Okay, and then Rachel, Vice President Tomas Morgan, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, then I'll bring it up to, I know, Miss Ophelia Gooden Rogers, you had a question.
Yes, I was just wondering about your hiring practice because I don't see any advertisement anywhere. So how do you know that how do people know that you're needing people to work there?
The positions are posted on Indeed. If there's any other place you could think of, we're willing to do anything. Post anywhere we can just to get drivers in the door. We usually post on Indeed. And when we do have job fairs, we'll usually do that on the radio, a radio commercial for that. We don't have a next class scheduled yet. Just because of the way collective bargaining is and coming up to the holiday season, it's hard to get people in, especially knowing that they have to come in and train during Thanksgiving and Christmas weeks. So we're looking at probably having a class in January. But we haven't finalized when that class would start yet.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions? Okay, I'm going to go, thank you so much, Chris. We're going to open it up to the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 5725?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak against?
I do not see anyone from the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
Thank you so much. I'm going to close the public hearing on Bill 5725. I just want to let the committee members know the recommendation that comes out of this committee today to advance it to the committee of the whole will have a public hearing only, and then it will have a recommendation on the 27th, and then it will be available for third reading on the 27th of this month. So I'll entertain a motion in reference to Bill 5725.
I'll make a motion that Bill 5725 be sent to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and duly seconded. Clerk Toronto, could you take the roll?
Committee Member Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Member Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White,
Aye.
Committee Chair Niskoski.
Aye.
All ayes.
Thank you. Bill 5725 will be sent favorably to the committee of the whole. Okay, we're going to move on. You're good. Okay, we're going to move on to Bill 5925. And that is the Teamster Salary Ordinance.
Hey, Chris. Good to see him.
Bill number 59-25,
reaffirms the salaries for the members of the Teamsters Union. So for 2025, members of the Teamsters Union will be receiving a 3% increase per the current Teamsters bargaining agreement that runs through 2028. This also includes a residency bonus of $2,000 for any members that reside in the city limits for each year.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to bring it back to the committee. Is there any questions referencing the salary ordinance from the committee members? Okay, seeing none, council members that are here in attendance, do you have any questions? Seeing none, I'm going to go to the public hearing portion. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 5925?
There are no individuals in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak against?
I do not see anyone in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing on Bill 5925 and bring it back to the committee. I entertain a motion regarding the bill.
Motion to bring to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
There's been a motion and duly seconded. Clerk Toronto, could you call the roll?
Committee Member Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Member Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White,
Aye.
Committee Chair Niskoski.
Aye.
All ayes.
Thank you. Bill 5925 will go to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation. Now we're going to hear Bill 6025, and that is, well, first I'll need a motion to accept the substitute bill.
So move.
Second.
Can we do that by acclamation?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. This is the 26 non-bargaining salary ordinance, and we have Mr. Kyle Willis to present.
Yes, Kyle Willis, offices at 215 Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard, offices on the second floor. Bill number 60-25 is non-bargaining salary ordinance for fiscal year 2026. This salary ordinance includes a 3% increase across all non-bargaining salaries and wages. Also includes a $2,000 residency bonus. Other items or other highlights from this bill, there were a total of, I think, 10 higher than standard increases for across all in this salary ordinance. There was a total of 3 new positions created as well.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to bring it back to the committee. Is there any questions from the committee? I believe Rachel, Vice President Tomas Morgan, you had some questions regarding this bill.
Let me see if, let me just check real quick if they were answered. So there are a couple duplications, potential duplications, just, I think I sent them to you.
So
Mr. Willis, would
the
you-
senior staff accountant position, there was a duplicate in the ordinance which can be removed. I think Director Bauer also responded back to your email just shortly ago regarding I think the project of sustainability. He did mention that that could be removed, and that was removed out of their budget, salaries and wages and benefits as well. The other positions, I think, were within VPA, so haven't heard back from Director Gathers just yet, but we can look into that. But I think those also, with the title change, the former position could be removed as well from the salary ordinance.
Yeah, it didn't quite, so these were just some of the things that just didn't quite match up with our conversation. So just for the purpose of the committee and other council members, the questions that I had asked when we were just going through the was one, sorry. There were 2 senior staff accountants, and as Mr. Willis said, that was just a duplicative error. So there's only 1 senior accountant. Is that correct?
Correct.
Mr. Willis? And then there were a couple questions in VPA. There were also 2 Director of Development positions. And I was just curious to know if that was a similar error. And there was a Chief Development and Marketing Officer in the salary table, but in the presentation, the Chief Development Officer was proposed to be eliminated. But that still stays in the salary table, so we haven't heard from VPA about those 2 questions. And then the final one was, as you said, I had noticed that the project manager and sustainability was still in the salary ordinance, so I had wondered if there was just a change of mind in that.
No, it looks like, just given, Director Bauer's response, we could remove that, but sometimes there are positions that even, that are not budgeted for, are still in the salary orders, just in an event that they do come back with it at a later date, but just following his recommendation, they could be removed.
Okay, thank you. So I'll just wait to hear from VPA for the next one.
Okay, is there any other questions from the committee members regarding the bill? Council member? Sure.
Step 2. Thank you for your presentation. You mentioned that we have 3 new positions. And is that one that was transferred from Public Works into, I think it was transferred into the IT?
Yes, the City Hall Administrator position, yes.
Okay. And then my other question, and just clarifying, you tend to hear, different types of comments in the community. And so the venues and parks, they only eliminated 9 positions totally, right?
I think so. I think that's,
6 of them. And so I want to clarify for the record and for our citizens, all of those positions did not come from the Dream Center.
no,
Okay, that's good. Because there's a impression out there that they did.
no, I don't.
That's why I asked that question.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if I remember, Councilmember White, I believe when Mr. Gathers gave his report, some of those were duplicate services that people were performing. So when they merged and restructured that department, they found that during this budget process, that's how some of those got. But none of them were from the Dream Center that I
just want
remember.
to set you hear so much, and anytime we have opportunity to clarify, I
Mhm.
think it makes it a lot easier.
Yep, and then that will be
Okay.
for the record. You're welcome.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any questions from council members regarding the bill? Thank you so much for your presentation. We're going to open it up for the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 60 the substitute Bill 60-25?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Is there anyone wishing to speak against?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of the bill.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing on substitute 60-25 and I'll entertain a motion regarding the bill.
Ask a point of
Yes.
order. So with just those 2 duplicates, how do we move forward with those if those need to be eliminated from this ordinance?
So we have
Or from the
legal
table.
counsel here so we can update the salary detail to have those removed and submit that as a substitute for tonight's meeting as well.
Okay, so then, Mr. Palmer, how do we move forward on this? If there's,
It would be a
some
substitute
changes
bill under
that
the
need to
committee
be-
of the whole.
Correct.
Yep.
okay, so we can move this out of committee
Tonight.
and then get
Today.
a substitute at the, okay, thank you.
Okay, so we have closed a public hearing and I bring it back. I would entertain a motion regarding Bill 60-25.
60-25 to move substitute bill to the full council, well, to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, could you call the roll?
Committee member Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Member Dr. Davis.
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Committee Chair Niskoski.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Substitute Bill 60-25 will be sent to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. And we will be expecting a substitute bill with those eliminated positions. And hopefully Mr. Gathers will get back to you by then as well. Okay, wonderful. All right, now we're going to move on to Bill 61-25.
61-25 sets the salary for the mayor of South Bend. Authorizes a 3% increase in his salary from $126,681 to $130,481 for 2026.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Are there any questions regarding the bill? Council members? Committee members? None? Council member Dr. Davis?
Like all the elected officials, he gets the residency one too, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay, making sure. All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm at peace.
Okay, seeing none, I'm going to open it up to the public hearing portion. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 61-25?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Thank you. Is there anyone wishing to speak against?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition of the bill.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing on Bill 61-25 and bring it back to the committee. Would entertain a motion regarding the bill?
That Bill 61-25, the mayor's salary ordinance be sent to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Thank you. There's been a motion and a second for regarding Bill 61-25. Clerk Toronto, could you call the roll?
Committee Member Thomas Morgan.
Aye.
Committee Member Dr. Davis.
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White. Committee Chair Niskoski.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Bill 61-25 will be sent to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. We'll move right on to Bill 62-25. And this is 62-25 is for the Common Council.
Good evening, Councilman Kenneth Lee, 1929 North Huey Street in South Bend. As proposed, this is our 2026 salary summary. With position as the full-time paralegal, full-time executive administrative assistant, our elected officials. We don't have any part-time or non-bargaining. Go to next slide, please. Of course, all of our council members. And we can go right to the salary line. Proposes our yeah, this is our budget is, excuse me.
3%.
So now we have our executive assistant, our elected official budget, non-bargaining, and part-time. Any questions?
Oh, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll bring it back to the committee. Is there any questions from the committee members?
So the Common Council salary ordinance just includes the council or salary, correct?
What was your question?
Yes, her question is, does the salary ordinance, is this just for the South Bend Common Council members only? Because on our,
So
Yes.
the ordinance itself is just the salary, the common council salary
That's my understanding.
of 23 to 98. It doesn't include the other positions in the ordinance.
To my knowledge, because those positions are part-time, they don't require a separate salary ordinance.
so these are just for the council positions only. And just to clarify, that would be going from our salary, which is now at $22,619 for 2025, with a 3% increase, with a salary cap for 2026 at $23,298. That will be what the common council members will be making for 2026.
So but you're
This is a
You-
salary ordinance only.
for the council,
Yes.
right? But the council budget is later. I think the question I have is in the table that we have, we talked about eliminating the paralegal position for 26, so it remains in here
It's Monday.
as part of trying to reduce.
Reductions in our,
Budget.
to reduction in our budget. Kyle?
That's correct. And, oh,
Well, the city controller, offices on the second floor of the city hall building, just for clarification. What you see here just is the listing of positions that have been in the council's budget over the last couple of years. So with the paralegal and the executive admin assistant, there's just some cleanup that we need to do just to have those removed, but they are not budgeted for in the council's budget for 26. Neither the paralegal or the admin assistant. So it's really only the 9 positions, which are the city council positions that are budgeted for.
So why are
for
they
26.
in this table with a 2026?
So this comes out of the budget compilation. In previous years, these were included in the council's budget. Like I said, this is just some cleanup that needs to happen for us to take out, we need to remove these. Because I think the technical part of the council can't hire full-time staff. So this is more or less, we just need to clean this up so this doesn't get represented for presentation purposes. They could be part-time, but as far as full-time, the council could not hire them as full-time employees.
So we're not passing anything that includes those at this point.
No,
We are only passing our own salaries.
correct.
And,
Question-
and in the bill that I have, it just shows the line item for the council. So I believe
that's
this
not
was in a
correct.
previous presentation.
That's correct.
So what we're passing is indeed this. Dr. Davis, is that your question?
That's my question. But my thing regarding those kind of positions, if something arises and we need to consider those kind of things, then we can come and make appropriation for that later on in the year. But it's not what we are passing now, that's my understanding, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm at peace.
Okay, any other questions from the committee? Any questions from council members? Okay, thank you so much for your presentation. We really appreciate it. I'm going to open up the public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 62-25? I see no one raising their hand or that's on in the chamber or virtually. Is there anyone here wishing to speak against? Again, I see no one online and I see no one in the chamber, so I'm going to close the public hearing regarding Bill 62-25 and bring it back to the committee. I would like to entertain a motion regarding the bill.
Motion to bring to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation regarding this particular bill.
Thank you. It's been a motion and it's been duly seconded. I'll go ahead and call the roll. Councilmember White, Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Vice President Tomas Morgan,
Aye.
Sheila Niezgodski, aye. So this bill will be sent to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation. So we're going to move on to Bills 63 and 64. And I would like to entertain a motion that we hear these two bills together at the request of our clerk.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Mm-mm.
Motion carried. You may proceed.
Good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon.
Bianca Torrado, City Clerk with offices on the third floor of the City Hall, new City Hall building. Presented before you today are both the City Clerk salary and the City Clerk staff non-bargaining. For the City Clerk salary and staff salary, it's only the traditional 3% that you see before you listen in the presentation. Happy to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Okay, thank you kindly. I'm going to come back to the committee members. Is there any questions regarding either Bill 6225 or 63 or 6425? Any of our council members here have a question? Seeing none, I'm going to open it up to the public hearing portion. Is there anyone here wishing to speak? Do I have to do these separate or can I do them together for the public hearing?
Public hearing, you can do them together. Voting has to be separate.
Correct. Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 6324? I see no one virtually. I see no one in the chamber. Is there anyone wishing to speak against Bill 63 or 6425? Again, I see no one in the chamber and I see no one virtually. So I'm going to close the public hearing on those bills. And I'm going to bring it back to the committee. We're going to start with Bill 63-25. Or entertain a motion regarding the bill.
Move that Bill 6325 go to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Thank you. That bill, there's been a motion and it's been duly seconded. And I'll go ahead and call the roll since our clerk is at the podium. We'll start with Councilmember White. Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Vice President Tomas Morgan,
Aye.
Sheila Niezgodski, aye. So Bill 63-25 will be sent to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation. We're going to go on to Bill 64-25. Entertain a motion regarding the bill.
I'd like to move that we send Bill 64-25 to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
There has been a motion and it's been duly seconded. I'll go ahead and call the roll. Dr. Davis,
Aye.
Vice President Tomas Morgan,
Aye.
Sheila Niezgodski, aye. Councilmember White. Thank you. Bill 64-25 will be sent to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to move to Bill 66-25, and I would like to entertain a motion to accept the substitute bill.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have accepted the substitute bill, and I see Mr. Willis is up to explain the bill.
Kyle Willis, City Controller, offices on the second floor of the City Hall building. Bill number 66-25, salary ordinance for firefighters of South Bend, sets the salaries for fiscal year 2026. We have a tentative agreement with the firefighters union. Members of the firefighter unions, they will receive a 4% increase for 2026, and increases across their longevity, various categories of, I think, $500 increases, unless you have 25 plus years in and then receive, the increase was up to $13,500. Also, firefighters that reside within the city limits will receive a residency bonus of $2,500 as well.
And this was ratified today? Contract?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for explaining that. I'm going to bring it back to the committee members. Are there any questions? Dr. Davis?
Yes. How long is this ratification for? Could you go over that for us again?
Good question. I meant to mention that earlier. This is for a one-year contract.
1 year contract. So we have to do another ratification next. Lord of mercy. Okay, thank you. I know. I mean. I know. Okay, but thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. You understand. Yeah, bless us. Right in the middle of that. Okay. I'm at peace.
Okay. Is there any other question from the committee regarding the bill? Any from council members that are here regarding the bill? Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to open the public hearing on Bill 6625. Is there anyone here wishing to speak in favor of Bill 66-25?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Is there anyone wishing to speak against substitute Bill 66-25?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
Thank you. I'm going to close the public hearing on the bill and bring it back to the committee. I would like to entertain a motion regarding substitute Bill 6625. Favorable.
Second?
Okay, there's been a motion. It's been duly seconded. Clerk Torado, would you like to call the roll?
Committee member Thomas Morgan. Aye. Committee member Dr. Davis.
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White.
Aye.
Committee Chair Niskoski.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Bill 66, or substitute Bill 66-25 will be sent to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation. And we have the last bill, which is Bill 6825, which is the 2026 Police Salary Ordinance. And I have received notification that there is this is not ready yet. That they would like us to table this bill until October 27th. In other words, I don't believe the contract has been ratified.
Correct.
So until they ratify the contract, then we'll be able to pass the salary ordinance.
Question. Will that delay us with the city budget?
No.
Because they have their salary requests will have to abide within the city budget with no matter what anyway. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So we can have that as a frame and they would have to work within those dollars. So, okay, I'm at peace.
Okay. Is there any other questions? Sure.
So I was reading all of this and I seen all salaries. I seen all salaries except, go to that, and
Sure.
the chief, the assistant chief,
Captains.
all that, none of their
Right.
salaries.
So what,
That's why
what you see here is just placeholders
okay.
that were put into this bill. But the contract hasn't been ratified, and I believe once it does, then just like the one for the fire ordinance salary, you'll see a substitute bill come and then that will be updated. Is that correct, Mr.
That's
Palmer?
correct.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No
So will
questions?
we need a motion to delay this until the
Well,
27th?
yes, a motion to table in committee until October 27th.
So move.
There's been a motion and it's been duly seconded. Clerk Torado, could you call the roll?
Committee member Thomas Morgan.
Aye.
Committee member Dr. Davis.
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White. Committee Chair Niskoski.
Aye.
4 ayes.
Thank you. Bill 6825 will be tabled until the next council meeting on October the 27th. Okay, with nothing further to come before this committee, we do have the Zoning and Annexation Committee that starts at 5 p.m. I'm sure I'll see everybody
Right
back
on
here at
time.
7 p.m. So at this time, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Glad to call the zoning and annexation committee meeting. We don't have Councilwoman Nagowski. Is she coming? I know she may have stepped out. Don't know, but we do have a quorum. Let's want to proceed because we're right at time. It's right at 5. She may come in. Go ahead. Let's begin. It's 5.
Committee Member White,
Pardon me? Yeah, let's go ahead and do a roll call. You can go check her and see if she's back there.
Councilmember White,
Because I know Karen went back there. Hold on a second. Just hold on a second. Excuse us. Pardon me? Huh? We have one more meeting here, and then we start at the new place on the 27th, in November. Next meeting here. Yeah, we have one more meeting here on the 27th, and then over in there we start. That's correct. Okay. All right, now we can begin.
Committee Member White,
Present.
Councilmember Warner,
Present.
Citizen Member Henry Davis Jr., Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Present.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Present.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis,
President.
5 present.
She's not on that one. I thought she was on that. Okay, we'll begin with bill number 5225, a special exception of 1133 Harvey Street and 522 Blaine Avenue. Our presentation. Go ahead.
All right. Hello, committee members. Tim Stowe with offices on the 5th floor of South Bend City Hall at 215 Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. This is Bill 5225 for a special exception by the owners of 1133 Harvey Street and 522 Blaine Avenue. Essentially, it is to permit a dwelling of 2 units in an urban neighborhood 1 district. The applicant intends to build a side-by-side duplex on the 2 existing lots. Here is a site plan for the project, as well as some photos of the site as it currently stands. So as we move along. Here are also the proposed elevations for the home, although the finished project may have a few minor alterations. The use of the duplex is consistent with objective H1.1 from the city's comprehensive plan, which is to encourage residential development that contains a mix of housing types, densities, price ranges, and amenities. It also aligns with the future land use map contained within the comprehensive plan, which recommends that these parcels be used for medium density residential. Additionally, a new duplex will activate the vacant land and add more residents into a neighborhood where the applicant is already constructing several other affordable homes. The petition comes to the committee with a favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, thank you. You have a representative here with us?
They are online.
Hi. Could you state your name and share your thoughts? Hello, I see you there.
Hi, my name is Bennett with Affordable Home Matters Indiana. We're the owners of the parcel there. And yes, I think that Tim did a great job kind of explaining.
Excuse me, one thing. Could you share your address, please? And then we can start.
Oh, certainly. Address is 1704 Bell Fountain Street, and that's in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay, you can proceed. Thank you.
And so, yeah, I'm just saying that I think Tim did a great job kind of explaining our project and kind of our wider project in the Lincoln Park neighborhood. But the desire to go with this this floor plan here is just to kind of make sure that we don't have the track home look of, you know, the same 3 or 4 homes throughout the neighborhoods. We've really taken you know, great effort to bring housing stock that blends in and kind of honors the character of the neighborhood while while delivering a nice healthy mix of different housing units here. So I think that's about it. Do you guys have any questions for us?
Here we go. Any of our committee members have any questions?
I just have one.
Go ahead, Councilwoman White.
Are the units the same size?
Mhm.
This is two separate units, correct?
Yes, they're essentially identical on the inside, just with a different front elevation. And I believe the unit that is on the corner there, you guys have a visibility requirement. So
Okay.
there'll be a few more windows on that side than on the interior unit. But other than that, the floor plans are exactly the same.
Okay. Mhm. Thank you.
Other questions? Council members? Yes, seeing enough of my committee and council members, we now will proceed to the public hearing. Clerk Serrato, are there anybody in the public who'd like to speak in favor? Do you see online or in the public?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor.
And what about those who'd like to speak in opposition in line or in public?
We do not see any members of the public in person or online that is wishing to speak in opposition.
Thank you, Clerk Dorado. Now we will close the public hearing and come back to our committee for a recommendation.
I'd like to move that we send Bill 52-25 to the Committee of the Whole with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can we please take the roll, Clerk Dorado?
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you so much. That will come to us, and we'll see you tonight, sir. Thank you for attending our meeting this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you tonight.
Thank you,
7
council
p.m.
members. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome. We'll now move to Bill number 6525, Special Exception and Use Variance at 628 Western Avenue.
Yes. Hello, committee members. Mark Delastrito, zoning specialist with the City of South Bend, with offices on the 5th floor of City Hall at 215 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. This is petition 6525 for a use variance and a special exception by the owner of 628 Western Avenue. And just want to note up front here that this property is zoned as U3, Urban Neighborhood 3. So the use variance would allow the petitioner to pursue the use of retail and service general in the urban neighborhood 3 district where that use is not typically permitted, while the special exception would allow them to pursue the use of daycare center. Both of these uses would go in the blue building at the northeast corner of the site along Western Avenue as part of the Western Avenue Transformation District project. Given that Western Avenue is one of the city's primary commercial corridors, both of these uses would be appropriate given the context. It would not be likely to generate any outsized negative impacts compared to the existing commercial businesses on the street. An additional retail space in this area would also make sense given the site's proximity to Four Winds Field, which is just next door, which brings thousands of potential customers to the area dozens of times each year. Meanwhile, a new daycare facility would bring an essential amenity to the neighborhood while potentially serving as a draw for future residents of the larger development that it would be a part of. Finally, these two uses would both be compatible with the city's comprehensive plan, namely goals around pursuing mixed land use patterns along major corridors, promoting new businesses, and planning for future school facilities, while also being consistent with the city's forthcoming downtown plan, which has a section dedicated to this larger Western Avenue project. And this petition, both petitions for the use variance and the special exception, come to the committee with a favorable recommendation from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions regarding Bill 6525 that you would like to ask? Oh, we need a presentation. I'm sorry. We have a presenter. Thank you. Please state your name and address, and we will then hear your presentation.
My name is Sam Lima. I'm with Keel Architecture and Planning at 1126 Lincoln Way East in South Bend. This development is part of a larger mixed income affordable housing scheme that incorporates this lot and also the opposite corner north of Western. Initially, we considered rezoning this parcel to neighborhood center to match what was across Western. But because the entire rest of the site fits very neatly within U3, we thought it would be best to get a special exception for the daycare and a use variance for the retail, since they only apply to the blue building. And the daycare is something that community members have asked for in Shuratts, and it's also outlined as a goal in the 2025 downtown master plan.
What is your long-term vision for this whole area as you see it 5-10 years down the road as you look at that? Where are we going?
This site will be developed with mixed income units ranging from 1 bedroom to 3 bedrooms, a few 4 bedrooms, but mostly 1 to 3 bedroom units of various sizes. The corner building will be an elevator building with double loaded corridors, and the remainder of the buildings will either be walk-ups or units that are directly accessed from the exterior. So it creates a vibrant sidewalk experience. But yes, also we want to incorporate green space for people to be able to utilize. The entire development would be able to use the park and also the second phase, which isn't shown to the south of the parking lot at the bottom of the screen. So we're kind of building all of that into the first phase as amenities for the entire development in the future.
Thank you, Sokali. Questions for the committee members? Comments? What about for the council members who are here? Any other questions? If not, thank you so much. And we will now move to our public hearing. Those who would like to speak in favor of you in present or online, please share your thoughts.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
What about those who would like to speak in opposition of the bill in present or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
I thank you so much, Clerk Toronto. We'll close the public hearing and move back to our committee for recommendation.
Make a motion to send Bill 6525 forward with a favorable recommendation.
We have a motion and we have a second. We would like to have our clerk to please take the roll.
Councilmember White. Councilmember Warner.
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom.
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan.
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Thank you, Sokali, and we'll bring that to the committee of the whole with a favorable recommendation tonight. Thank you for being here. I look forward to seeing you tonight. Appreciate it. Now we move to our last bill, which is bill number 6725, special exception 307 to 321 Hill Street and 523 to 529 East LaSalle Avenue. And we would like to again go to our presentation. Please proceed.
Good evening, committee members. This is Tim Staub with offices on the 5th floor of City Hall at 215 of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. This is Bill 67-25, a request for a special exception by the owners of 307 to 321 Hill Street and 523 to 529 LaSalle Avenue to permit entertainment and recreation facility outdoor on the property in the district zone downtown. So to provide some context, here is the property as the whole. As we wrap around the lot, it is essentially the northwest corner of Hill and LaSalle.
Okay, I know what that is.
So here's their potential site plan. Outdoor entertainment is cohesive with the current zoning and the 2022 Northeast Neighborhood Plan. The downtown zoning district calls for a variety of high-intensity urban uses, and an outdoor recreation and entertainment video is one such use. So kind of more of a better look at it. The applicant anticipates a myriad of different uses that would fall under this, including but not limited to stage for performances, a playground, game lawn, and This would allow the applicant ultimately flexibility to utilize the space for other uses which may fall under that outdoor space. Additionally, the neighborhood plan calls for active mixed use on this lot, and while this is not the full implementation of that provision, it would fit with a mixed use concept in the future. The Board of Zoning Appeals sends this to the committee with a favorable recommendation.
Appreciate that. We'd like to have our presenter come forth. Please state your name and your address, and you may proceed with your presentation.
Good evening, committee. My name is Riley Ellingson. I work with Earth Designs Real Estate with offices at 530 East LaSalle in South Bend. I think Tim did a pretty good job of explaining kind of the overall project, but the yard is envisioned as indoor-outdoor entertainment venue that will consist of a pavilion building in the center that'll have indoor dining and event space surrounded by a variety of outdoor activity zones, including concert lawn and band shell, kids playground, and then a few different food and beverage options, including an ice cream shop and bagel shop. So our goal with the yard is to really activate this corner of the East Bank neighborhood and kind of build on the city's investments with the Link Trail and our own investments through our hospitality group with the Lauber and Manny's. So we're excited for this project and hope that it's a catalyst for the neighborhood and for additional redevelopment.
Oh, when you consider the inside of that, how many are looking at being able to house for like an event?
We're still kind of finalizing our final occupancy, but we'd anticipate probably 200 to 300 indoors, and then depending on the type of event, up to 500 outdoors.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Committee members, do you have any comments, thoughts? Anything else? I know right in your area.
No,
Yeah. All good?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? Pretty good? All right, thank you. All right, we are good up here. For right now, we will now open it up for the public. For any questions or comments, or for those who'd like to speak in favor, we'll open it up for them first. Those are present or online. Anybody? You don't see anybody present here or online?
I do not
Where-
see any,
Go ahead.
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor.
What about those who like to speak in person or online on who are dealing with opposition?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
I appreciate it. We'll close the public hearing and look for the committee for recommendation.
make a motion to send 6725 forward with a favorable recommendation.
Second?
Okay, we'll then, since we have a motion and a second, to ask our clerk to please take a roll.
Councilmember White,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Citizen Member Stacy Odom,
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Committee Chair Dr. Davis.
Aye, we have 5 ayes. Thank you so kindly. That's all I thought. That is, just a note again for our committee, citizen, thank you again for being here. And again, we have one more meeting here on the 27th, and then we'll start in a new building. Okay? All righty, we are adjourned. Thank you. I'll be back.
Over there, thank you. We'll call the community investment meeting to order. I will take roll call. Councilmember Gooden Rogers,
Present.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson,
Present.
Councilmember White,
Present.
Citizen Member Kanajeski,
Present.
and Citizen Member Gripe informed me he would be absent. So we have a quorum. We're going to hear Bill 2539, amended and reconfirming a resolution for a tax abatement for 505 South Michigan for the Monroe project for the Devereaux Peters. So first I'm going to start, this bill kind of does two things. There's a substitute. First, I'm going to kind of explain the substitute on this. So as staff was pulling up to make a change on the tax abatement from 2022, they pulled up the original designating resolution and noticed there were some errors in that resolution. The language used all talked about a confirming resolution and not a declaratory resolution. The title on the bill that was passed in 2022 was a declaratory resolution. All of the discussion in the meeting was a declaratory resolution. The property ID was correct. Everything was legally correct, except for in the bill itself, it said reconfirming resolution. So we think kind of what happened was both the designating and the confirming resolution were sent to the clerk's office, and for somehow or some way, the language of the bill got mixed up. So, so part of this substitute goes and changes the language from that original bill in 2022 to state that is a designating resolution. And then so that's the substitute part of the bill. Mr. Glavish called me last week and said, hey, we found this error. Mr. Palmer has reviewed the error. I know City Legal reviewed the error. They're confident what we voted on in 2022 was a designating resolution, designating a tax abatement. And but while we're fixing this, we should go ahead and clean up the language from that bill to specifically state that it was a designating resolution in the terms and the wording of the resolution. Does that kind of sum it up pretty good, Mr. Palmer?
Correct. Correct, Chair.
Mr. Glavish, anything to add to that? Okay. Did that kind of sum it up pretty good at that point? Okay.
Pretty good
So
summary.
that's the first half of the bill. Councilmember Bolden Simpson.
So I'm hearing three different words. We have declaratory resolution, confirming resolution, but I heard you say designating.
Designating and declaratory are
Synonyms.
synonyms.
Okay,
and
thank
use
you.
the same. Thank you for that catch. But yes,
Before Eric presents, you should move to.
2 seconds up to sub. I was going to get there, but thank you. Any other questions about that portion of this substitute bill? Okay, seeing none at this time, I would entertain a motion to accept the substitute for 2539.
So move.
I have a motion and a second to accept the substitute. All those in favor of that motion to accept at this time, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The substitute is accepted. Now we'll go on to the second half and what the other half of the bill does. Mr. Glavish, I'll let you handle that half.
Thank you. Eric Glavich, Director of Growth and Opportunity with offices on the 5th floor of the new City Hall. I have to apologize. I got some sort of sinus drainage stuff going on. So sorry you have to listen to this voice. I'm going to go through a fairly short presentation. First, this is the Monroe project that we've talked about quite a bit. Council's first consideration of this was right when I was hired in this position. So I'm just going to click through, do a project summary, kind of talk about what council's actions have been to date in support of this project. Mention very high level what the abatement resolutions that council had already considered and passed were. Provide you just a little bit of a quick summary of what the abatement was and is, and then show you a 3-bullet summary of what the substitute bill would do. So So the Monroe project is at the corner of Monroe in Michigan. This was a low-income tax credit project that developer Devereaux Peters, through an LLC she formed called the Monroe LLC, had petitioned for, and council in 2022 had granted a tax abatement for this project. This is as you saw in the previous picture, it's a vacant lot right now. This is the latest rendering of what the building would look like. The project summary is it's an affordable housing development. Latest plans are 4-story building, 56,000 square feet. Through the different agreements that we have with the developer, the private investment commitment was $17.7 million. And as part, this tax abatement that council had granted and that we're asking you to reconfirm was part of a larger city support packet, which was required for the low-income tax credit application. The Redevelopment Commission support for this project is about $3.6 million. In addition, the city would waive the system development charge for utility hookups and provided the land at minimal value for this property. So altogether, the tax abatement is a very important aspect of the city's support for this project, which was vital for Ms. Peters receiving her low-income tax credit award. The building would be 57 apartment units, and 45 of them would be considered affordable, with 24 of them at or below 50% of the area median income. Council's actions today, council has taken 2 series of actions in support of this project. The first one was the tax abatement. So in August of 2022, this council considered an 8-year tax abatement for this project and had granted the tax abatement through 2 different resolutions. One is a declaratory or designating resolution. And then the follow-up meeting, the council confirms the actions of the prior meeting. In addition, the council had approved 2 ordinances that allow the city of South Bend to support this project through a forgivable loan. So if the developer meets the commitments as laid out in the loan agreement, then the loan is forgiven. So we had to go through various entities in order to approve forgivable loan, and getting council's approval was one of those in the process. So now shifting back to what was actually passed and adopted by council back in 2022, the designating resolution, or the declaratory resolution, does is it basically says, there's these parcels and we as the council are finding them to be eligible for tax abatement. And then it also establishes what's called a designation period. In this case, the 2022 resolution established a 3-year designation period, which essentially says that the developer has 3 years to complete the project. If it does not complete the project within 3 years, then only the elements of that project within that 3-year timeframe would be eligible for tax abatement. Council's intentions in the 2022 action was to make sure that Devereaux Peters and the Monroe LLC receive the benefits of this tax abatement. It's a low-income tax credit application. As I commented before, the tax abatement is very important to ensure that this project is successful. In addition, the declaratory resolution establishes the schedule of the abatement. So what we're actually doing, as you might recall as council, when you approve a tax abatement, you're actually approving a percentage deduction of the incremental assessed value. So those are really the 3 primary things that the declaratory resolution does. And then after public hearing on August 22nd of 2022, the Department of Community Investment presented to you, and the council confirmed the resolution through a confirmed abatement through a confirming resolution. Here are the tax estimates that were provided for the Monroe project at the time. This is city-owned property, so there's no tax revenue that's being brought in. If it was not city-owned, it would only be bringing in $1,200 annually. So as we look through, after this project is completed, the Department of Community Investment estimates that the annual taxes after this project would be about $92,000. So during this 8-year tax abatement that council had granted, the estimated taxes are about $740,000, and of those, about $430,000 to $435,000 of those taxes would be abated. That's because we always like to do, we like to show what the taxes are with the abatement included as we look out into the future. And, you know, we don't need to talk about, if we're not bringing any tax revenue, then, you know, any project, any redevelopment of these parcels is beneficial to our community. Now, finally, what substitute bill number 25-39 would do, in addition to what Chair Warner had discussed in terms of making sure that the language of the declaratory resolution, you know, is in line with the form of resolution that we typically do for tax abatements. This reconfirming resolution portion of it does essentially two things. One, it extends the designation period. So the designation period for this project had passed in August. It was only a 3-year designation period, but as I commented earlier, we need to extend it so that Devereaux can complete her project and receive the benefits of the tax abatement. This resolution, or excuse me, this bill, substitute bill, would extend it to the end of 2028, which would be aligned with the commitments in different city agreements that we have, whether it be the real estate purchase agreement for the property or the development agreement that provides her the money through the redevelopment commission. They're all through the end of 2028, roughly. So that's why we are proposing that we extend the designation period to that timeframe. And finally, the bill that you would vote on simply just reconfirms the findings of the 2022 bills. It just basically says you're reconfirming that the parcels are eligible for tax abatement. You're reconfirming that the petition and all the statement of benefits form, everything that was associated with the original abatement is still true, and that you're reconfirming that as the legislative body for the city. So I will pause there. I know that Devereaux had joined, and we're happy to answer any question.
Okay, you said we have Ms. Peters?
She was right before the meeting had started. She had jumped on.
Okay. Ms. Peters, if you're still on, anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, I think Eric covered it pretty thoroughly.
Okay. How are we coming along? Are we, I think the last meeting with the redevelopment commission, we were close to closing financing. We're still making that progress.
Yep, I received my last piece of due diligence from the South Bend Housing Authority last week that I needed to submit to Freddie Mac. And with that submission, hopefully this week we should get a date for a commitment letter to approve the loan, as well as a final closing date.
All right. We like closing dates.
So do I.
Okay. Council members, excuse me, committee members, any questions?
Question, but I would just like to say, I sure hope we're getting you off the ground now.
I do as well.
Councilmember Bolden Simpson.
I'm trying to remember when you came before Ms. Peters, and I know you had made several changes and I just need a little review of that. What has held this up? I think it was in that meeting. Are you recalling what I'm talking about?
So I think we did do a adjustment to the loan amount. I believe that was in June of this year.
And she made adjustments to the building?
Some adjustments to the size of the building.
Right.
And
Okay.
some of the
And
units.
how many units and everything?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And what did we say were the obstacles? I'm just gonna
Okay.
could we review that? What were the obstacles?
There have been quite a few. I have been waiting for this document that I just received last week from the Housing Authority since February. So that was a big one.
Okay.
We had our Freddie Mac underwriter. We had 2 of them that were working on the project resign in the midst of our underwriting process. So that delayed us quite a bit as well. We had some terms that we had to flesh out with the Community Investment Office and some of our loan documents that took an extended period of time. And just in general, I have a lot of different lenders and sources of funding, and they all have to give approvals on every single document that is submitted. And just generally, because they all have different requests and goals, it takes quite a bit of time to get everybody to agree on every single item. So that has drawn us out quite a bit as well.
Thank you. You're
You're
gonna
welcome.
make it. We're gonna make it.
Thank you.
Councilmember Lee.
Yes. I have pretty much a comment. Thank you for your steadfastness in pursuing this. Since 2020, it's been in the work. So we're finally at the end. And so thank you for not giving up, and thank you for your hard work to continue to bring this vision to pass, even though this was supposed to start out in the first district.
I know. Hopefully I can come to you next.
Okay, at this time we'll open up the public hearing. Any members of the public wishing to speak on item bill number 2539, either in person or online?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in favor of the bill.
Okay, anybody wishing to speak against?
I do not see any members of the public in person or online wishing to speak in opposition.
Okay, we'll close the public hearing at this time. Bring it back to the committee. Any other comments? Okay, take a motion.
Motion to approve, what would we say, Bill 60,
This would be substitute bill 2539.
substitute Bill 25.
I have a motion and a second. Clerk Toronto, can you please do the roll call vote for us?
Committee Member Gunn Rogers,
Aye.
Committee Member Bolden Simpson,
Aye.
Citizen Member Kane Kujeski.
Aye.
Committee Vice Chair White. Committee Chair Warner.
Aye.
5 ayes.
Substitute bill 2539 will go forward with a favorable recommendation to the 7 p.m. hour. With that, we will adjourn the Community Investment Committee. Thank you.
All right, thank you. This is the informal invocation tonight will be Pastor Brian Duran from Clay Church. We'll do the pledge, the roll call. We'll have reports from the subcommittee on minutes for September 22nd. Special business, there is none. Reports from city offices, there is none. We'll go to the committee of the whole. Got a lot of bills in there. Bills on third reading, same amount of bills there. One resolution and first reading, unfinished business, new business, privilege of the floor, and adjournment. Tonight is our budget approval meeting, and we are excited about today opening up the new city hall. And so we will see everybody back here at 7 o'clock. Thank you. We're excited about